I think this is the last Sandra&Nala puzzle that is on my backlog. I've been trying to avoid doing the any puzzles that has already been featured on Cracking the Cryptic and other places, just to try to get something that's unique in case people are trying to figure it out and don't have a video to follow along with. So trying to fill in that missing stuff. But this is the last one in Sandra&Nala's list that I saw that isn't the clear solve video elsewhere for it. After this, I'm not too sure where else I'm gonna go. I might try a couple of GDC's puzzles because he also does quite a decent amount of fog of war stuff, which I really enjoy. So I'll take a peek of those ones. If anyone has some suggestions, by all means, please send your suggestions, or we might just take a break from doing these for a little bit. So yeah, like I said before, I appreciate everybody for watching, all your likes and the comments definitely helped keep me motivated to keep running with these ones. But right now my backlog is looking a little bit sparse, so unless I see something that kind of sparks my interest, we might take a little bit of a break and come back with other ones once I build up that backlog once again. Anywho, let's take a look at what we have today here. So what do we have? Normal Sudoku rules, that's great. But clues are standard, and in the final grid, all clues need to be wrong. A clue is wrong when the digits cause it, when the placed digits cause it to be invalid. Placing digits that successfully make clues invalid will help clear the fog from surrounding cells. What? Okay, clues are standard, and in the final grid, all clues need to be wrong. Okay, so killer cage, they have to sum up and do not contain repeat. Digits on the arrow sum to this connect the circle. Digits in a slow thermos increase or stay the same. So in a slow thermos, therefore, it must strictly decrease. It's basically a reverse thermos then. And then green whisper needs to be opposite German whisper. Everything has to be less than 5 apart from each other, and then less than 4 apart for the Dutch whisper. The circles are odd, blues are even, and all digits in a larger white circle appear. So quads are reverse quads basically, so they're restrictive quads. They cannot appear in those ones. Digits joined by white dot or consecutive. Black dots are ratio 1, 2. Okay. All clues are standard. In the final grid, all clues need to be wrong. So before, when we do those wrong in boxing type of puzzles, those ones only require one thing to be wrong to make the whole thing invalid, right? So it's not strictly the whole thing. I'm not sure if I'm reading this one correctly, but it feels like here, everything needs to break it consistently. So for example, if we're looking at a German whisper, and I had a 1, 6, and a 3, right? And a wrong in boxing type, that would be, yeah, you got it. The green line is broken because there's a 1, 6, and a 3. The 63 breaks the whole green line. But in this case, my thinking is that a 1, 6, 3 might not actually be correct because the 1 and 6 is 5 apart. And the way I'm reading this is that everything needs to be breaking the line. Now, we're going to work with the assumption that not everything needs to follow it until we kind of get stuck in a rut, and then we might test the limits at that point, but that's just my thinking right now. All right, well, here we go. So we already have all these. So these ones are not like a line. They are an individual clue each. So therefore they all must not be odd. So they all must be even. And then each one of these black crop keys are also each one of these black cookies are an individual clue, so each one of them must also be incorrect. So 2 cannot link to a 4 or 8, or sorry, 4 cannot link to a 2 or an 8. So I think these two cannot be 4s, because if this is a 4, it can see a 6 here, here, but then the other one has to be a 2 or 8. Similarly here, can see a 6 here, here, but then the other one will have to be a 2 or 8. So the 4 has to go into the outskirts, and I think because of the 6 quad in here, and that's literally the only number, then a 6 just cannot be in here at all. 6 must be in here somewhere. Which makes me think the 4 needs to go here? Yeah, because otherwise the 4 here will go with the 2 or an 8. So this will have to be a 4. Goes into a 6 and leaves us with a 2 or 8. So yeah, what I was saying before in a wrong unboxing, if this quad had, let's say, 2, 4, 8, and 6, then as long as one number did not appear in that quad, then the whole quad is considered broken. But in this case here, I'm not sure if everything needs to be out, but we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, so this 4 basically cannot see a 3 or 5 here. So what is left? We might as well pencil mark it so we don't get confused. We only have odd numbers left, right? So it can't be 3 or 5, so it must be 1, 7, or 9. Sees that. I'm assuming it can't be a 1 on here, because otherwise 1, whether it pairs with a 7 or 9, would make this German whisper valid. So it must be a 7-9 pair. Depending on how long this one is, we'll see how that goes. Okay, we have, oh, this one must be an odd number. Okay. And then, what's left here? We have 1, 3, and 5 left in here. Okay. This cannot be a 1, 5, otherwise they meet the requirements. So there must be a 3 in here. So 3 is not in here. And then, whether this is a 1 or 5, the other one, 1 or 5, cannot be here. So this one has to be the 3. Go. And if this was a 1, then this thermos would be correct. So this has to be a 5. Yeah, because it's a slow thermos. A 1 and a 1 would still be working for a slow thermos, but obviously we don't want that to work at all. This 5 cannot go into a 4 or 6. So what is valid? It could be a 2. A 1, 2 could be a 3. 4, 5, 6. 7 would make the Dutch whisper valid. 8, 9 make Dutch thingy valid. So it's a 2 or a 3, I think. I think those are the only possible answers. This one is a single, so it has to be close to at least a 7. So it can't be a 5. And it has to be lower than the 5 actually. Ooh, wait. Yeah, this is a reverse thermal, so this number has to be a 4, 2, or 1. But with the Dutch or German whisper here, I think 4 is the only one. It must go into a 7. Get rid of a whole bunch of numbers there. Okay, I'm liking this so far. Therefore, this cannot be a 3. This is a 2. Gives us the 8. Go over here. This cannot be a 5 or a 3. It could be a 1. Cannot be a 2. Cannot be a 3. Cannot be 4 or 5. Can it be a 6? No, there's a 6 there. 7. And then 8 would make the Dutch whisper valid, so it must be a 1. We have an arrow here. And we have another thingies, which cannot be 1, 3, or 9. So at least it's just a 5 or 7. Does eliminate a 6 from here. I don't see any number for this cage. Wait, is this a cage? The cages have no... Okay, yeah, so sum up to the thing if given. So there is nothing given here. That means we have to repeat a number in here in order to invalidate this. Okay, interesting. 2's here, 1's here, 4 here. We only have 4 numbers, 5 numbers left. I was gonna think whether I want to write a number in there. Okay, this one, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 cannot be a 9. Now, if it's an 8, this would have to be a 9. This would have to be the bulb. I have a feeling it can't be an 8. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm getting at here. But we don't know for sure. Do we have anything else to work off of? Maybe we do have to pencil mark this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can be a 5. Cannot be a 6. Could be a 7. Potentially could be an 8. Okay. We are left with if it's an 8, this will have to be a 5. 8, 5, and this would be a 3. This number. Oh, this number is an even number. The circle of the arrow blended in with the circle of the even thing. Oh, we know it's not 2, 4. It's a 6 or 8. And okay, this is yeah. So whatever this number is, it has to be not add up with this one. So if it's a 5, this is an 8. This is a 7. This is a 6. They have an inverse relationship. Okay. What else can we derive from this? Is there any numbers we're missing in here? We're missing a place for 9, aren't we? And 6, actually. 6 goes in here somewhere. 6 goes in here somewhere. That helpful? Probably not. 9 here would be great. So far we haven't repeated a number in here. This cannot be the repeat number. Oh, okay, this is interesting. This cannot be the repeat number because it can't see here or here. So these ones are not the repeat number, they're opposites. This one's not repeating with this one at all. So this one must be the repeat number, right? Because this one cannot repeat with any of these. This one must be repeated. The only place it can repeat is here, and they both share an 8. So this is tricky. Huh. Very tricky. So it must be a 5. That's a 7 now. Because this has to be reverse, right? So this has to be a 9. Does it mean this is a 9 as well? No, it can't be a 9. So does it just go down? Okay, so not the entire line has to be incorrect then. Okay, so that does somewhat prove my idea previously that not the entire thing needs to be broken, just only part of it needs to be broken. In which case it does kind of make it harder for me to put something in there. Let's stew on that one a little bit. Let's pencil mark this. What we have 2, 3, 5, and 9. This cannot be 2 or 5. It is a 3 or 9. This is 3, 6, 9. Okay. Leaves us with 1, 6, and an 8. 6 and 8. Here. This cannot be 6 or 8, so it's 1. Okay, that's helpful. So this can't be a 3. This has to be a 9. And this is now 4, 7, or 9. Okay. These cannot be 2, 3, otherwise they work with the white crop key. So 5 must go in there somewhere. This one is an odd number. This 1 has to go into a 4, which then cannot go into an 8. This 8 therefore cannot be added to a 3 and a 5, so it must be a 2. Whoop. Oh, sorry. I said the right thing, but I wrote the wrong thing. And then this one must go down, so this has to be a 1 or a 2 now. 3, this can go into basically anything except for 6. Probably can't do 1 or 2, then it'll work with this crop key. So could be a 4, 5, cannot be a 6, 7 or 9. Oh, it also has to be an even number, so it's a 4. There cannot be an 8 anywhere here, so 8 is here, therefore. I do find this more fun than the wrong unboxing one, because the wrong unboxing one, you're like, oh, one thing out of all these one seems to be wrong, and it gets wacky to try to track it. Whereas this one's just like, everything's wrong, and so it's less stressful, which I appreciate. 4 needs to be somewhere here. 8 needs to be somewhere here. What else? What else? What else? 2 Dutch whispers here. So, okay. Yeah, maybe we need to think about this. We got this Dutch whisper connection from this 1, 2 into these places, but we also don't want to add up to 6, right? So we can't stay too close. For example, if this was 1, right, then in order to appease the Dutch whisper, we can't go any higher than 5. We can't go 5 or higher. In which case the only valid numbers is 2 and a 3, which then would make this cage correct. So I think that means this has to be a 2. And then the 2 can touch a 5, but it can't touch a 6. So we'll grab a 6 and we'll grab either a 1 or a 3 along the way. This one obviously not a 3. So not a 6, we want a 5. We want the 5. This one can't be a 5. So the 5 must be here. Yeah, because we need to have the 5. We can't both use 1 and 3, otherwise this will be correct again. Okay, this one we know is not an even number, so that puts the 8 there. This is now 1, 3, that. 1, 3, 7, 9, and a 6. Sing. This number and this number cannot be the same number. Such a weird thing. There's a 4 not in here. Unless there's another number in this one. But I think it's trying to hint to me that this cannot. This 4 is not. That the 4 goes here. So I'm trying to say. Not confident yet. If I could see the whole thing, then I would love to put the 4 there. We'll hold off on that for now. That might just be a gimme. Oh, this one cannot be 7 or 9 because of the white crop key, so it's 1 and 3. That does leave us with 6, 7, 9 left over here. Now, the 9 doesn't work here or here because 9 is going to be correct for the Dutch whisper no matter what we put in here. So therefore, this must be a 9. This can no longer be a 9. Let's see. The 1 works with both 6 and 7, so this cannot be a 1 anymore. Same with this. So now this is a 3-5 pair, which puts a 6 here. Does nothing for us though. Very unfortunate. 1, 3. What are we left with here? 7, 8, 9. Okay, this cannot be a 9. So it's either a 7 or an 8. Looking like this can't be a 1. What I'm thinking. Don't know yet. Oh, let's put in a 7 and a 9 here. What do we have left? 2, 6, and a 1. Okay. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 3, 4, 5. And we're thinking the 4 has to be here. Okay. Let's see. If this is a 7, yeah, I'm thinking this actually has to be a 6. Because if this is a 7, one of these has to be a 3, and that would work for the Dutch Whisper. So this has to be a 6. This is a 7. This cannot be a 3 now. That puts a 3 there. It's 1 there. Whoops. Puts a 3 here. This now cannot add up to 7, so that's a 6. And I think now we can see that there's no second number, so now I'm willing to put in the 4 in there. It's probably an unnecessary caution, but we'll do it anyways. 8 can't go there because of the crop key. Okay, what are we left with in here? 1, 2, and a 4. Obviously, this has to be a 1. This cannot have a 4 in it, so that must be a 2. Let's knock the 2 out of here. Now this one cannot go into a 5, so that's a 3. This 1 is restricting this one to a 3, 4, or 5, which 4 is the only one that we have left. And the only even number left is that. This cannot be a 6. This cannot be a 1. This must be decreasing. 3, 2, 1. Oh, but only part of it needs to be broken, so pretty much the most worthless line. It's useless. I will go here. That's useless. In fact, I think this is a 1, 2, 6 triple in here. Let's clean that up a little bit. That does leave us with a 7 and a 9, and we know which way those goes. Very nice. 7, 9. So this basically has to be high, right? Because this is working. It could be a 3. No, it can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cannot be a 7. 7 would work for slow thermals. Cannot be 8. Has to be a 9. It's the only way we can break this line. Then that leaves us with a 3 here, a 7 here. This one cannot be a 2 or 4. It could be a 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 8, just 1 or 6. Now we're 1, 6 pair here now, which leaves us with a 7 and a 4. 2, 6, 2, 6, and a 5. Go here. Got a 1, 9 pair here now somehow. Don't know when that happened. We're left with 8 and a 2, 2, 8. Okay. 6 is here now. Fills those in. Almost done. 1, 9 and a 4. 5, you can go in there. 1, 9. Go in here. Leaves us with a 2, 8, and 3. We'll go here. 2, 8 can go here. Okay. Don't see how we can resolve that. Oh, okay, it can't be 8, 9. Because then they'll make the 20 work. But it must be 1 and 2. 1, 2, what are we missing? 3 can go here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Nice! Aha. Solution looks great. I'm curious whether this can solve, now that we have everything, let's just take a look real quick. Now that we have everything revealed, I wonder if we can solve this and make all the clues work. That'd be kind of cool too. We probably don't have that many starting points though. This will be broken right off the bat. If these all have to be odd numbers, there's no way we're gonna make the black crop keys work. So there's my answer right there. And I think from a puzzle setter's standpoint as well, doing this, where if you didn't read the rules and didn't know you're supposed to be wrong, this would immediately clue you in that, hey, by the way, this puzzle is not what it seems like. When you take a look at it, it'll be like, yeah, try to put in the odd numbers and then you try to make the black crop keys work. Guess what? You can't. And it'll get them to actually read the rules. So it's good because this is the starting point, and immediately it'll clue the solver in that, like, hey, you should pay attention to the rule. Or hey, maybe you didn't understand the rules as written. And this will help you better understand that everything you know is wrong. But yeah, all right. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know if you have puzzle suggestions. Otherwise, it might be a while before I do another one.